everybody. Welcome back to Blazed and Confused, the podcast where curiosity is high, confidence is questionable, and logic usually shows up late. I'm Max, as always.
And I'm Noah.
So, we got two things tonight. We tried to get a little bit off conspiracies because we've been hitting them pretty heavy. And I don't know about you, but I'm out of tinfoil.
Yeah, I done lost all my tinfoil. People at work are very concerned at this point.
Probably because of all the trust issues you have.
I have a lot of them, man. Oh, they started fucking with me at work, though. Because everything now, man, they're like, oh, dude, that's how they get you. That's how the government gets you. They start you with that. Like the other day, I bought some off-brand, like, Gatorades from Costco. And they're like, oh, is that got the red 40 dye? I was like, no. I said they had to get rid of their old ones, I'm pretty sure, because it had that red 40 dye in it, or that red dye. And they were like, oh, better make sure, because, that's how the government gets you. They control your mind with the
Whatever,
red
dude.
40 dye. And I was
like being like the birds or robots,
you guys,
bud.
man. I'm like, it's not that bad for me, okay? Like,
That's just
I'm not
like
walking out looking for helicopters and thinking the squirrels are fucking listening to me and shit. I had buddies. They used to say that pigeons were
birds or
government
robots
controlled. Yeah.
That is so stupid. I've shot tons of doves in my lifetime that I know that they are not fucking robots.
But you never shot a pigeon.
Nah, but there are people that do shoot pigeons and they eat them. You just can't where I'm at.
That's true.
But it is pretty funny to be thinking that it's just like your buddy Alex Jones. They're making the frogs gay. It's just like that type of shit. You're like, oh man, they've gone too far.
Yeah, I mean, there is a point of no return. That dude definitely hit it. I don't idolize him in any way, shape, or form, but some of the stuff that he has done, I'm like, hey man, that's like, it's been proven and stuff, and it's like, okay, he's got a couple things right out of 1,000 things that he said.
I was about to say his average though is terrible. He's at like a 2% correct rate out of yeah. But so we're stepping away from the conspiracies to show you guys that we're all right. We got two things. First one is from Illinois, and the second one also kind of is Illinois, more kind of related to like St. Louis area, Missouri. So
yeah, it just depends on which side wants to claim it that day, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those cities, So we've got the Enfield Horror, which is a little cryptid that's kind of cool. And then the next thing is going to be the Seven Gates of Hell, which is located in Collinsville, Illinois/Missouri.
Yeah, so, I don't know why you keep saying cryptids are cool when you every time you're like, oh, it's kind of cool. It's not. They're usually scary. That's why they're cryptids. They're monsters,
I mean,
man.
I agree.
You gotta stop downplaying them every time. Hey, this thing's kind of cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. This thing, it kind of makes me laugh when I see the picture of it. I'm like, if I were to see this thing, I'd be like, what the hell are you? I'd be scared. It's not right. But I definitely want to go, man, that's kind of cool. The hell?
Well, I mean, not kind of cool to experience, but kind of cool to, like, see that somebody possibly experienced this. A lot of these, the reason I think it's cool is it's like, somebody's imagination got pretty creative, or there's something absolutely monstrous that lives among people and doesn't get seen, which is something that most people won't believe. So that's why I think it's cool. I'm not saying that it's actually like, oh, let's go do it. But this one, like you said, kind of looks silly. We'll describe its appearance before we get into its sightings and everything else.
Yeah, I need you to go ahead and do your thing with the history here, because I have a point to make with some of these cryptids.
I got you. So this one It's described as being 4 to 5 feet tall. Its skin is like a gray or grayish green, smooth or leathery rather than being furry. So, I'm kind of describing what might sound like an alien, but it's got 3 legs. Um, really short, stubby arms that end with like clawed hands. And then its eyes are like really big and kind of like a pink or a reddish that appear to glow. And then this is what I kind of don't like about this one. It's extremely fast and capable of long hops because it jumps. Um, Most people kind of assimilate this with being like a frog or something. Like you can kind of see that if you see the picture. A really scary frog, but
It's only got 3 legs.
yeah. It's almost like a frog that didn't. You know what? What if it is like one of those like we haven't even gotten into anything on this, but what if it is just a really big frog and it's like tadpole tail never went away? I don't think it would be 4 foot tall, but like somebody sees something that quick, they're going to be like, holy shit, it was this big, like a fishing story.
I want to know what the hell a 4.5 foot tall frog ate to get 4.5 feet tall, Max.
It's got 3 legs, dude. So that's like one more that you normally get.
So it fucking grew.
Or it mutated.
4.5 feet tall.
It could be my favorite thing, dude. It could just be an alien.
No.
Well, okay, but we're gonna say it's something else, but we won't believe it's an alien.
You said it was a frog.
Well, that's what it resembles.
You said that don't say it like I'm stupid. You said a frog.
No, that's literally how people kind of like portray it. But I mean, all the features of this thing were very alien-like. 4 to 5 foot tall, grayish green, smooth or leathery skin. The only thing that's weird is 3 legs because we've never heard an alien story with 3 legs.
It's true. When was this thing sighted?
So yeah, let's get into the deep history on this thing. It was the first sighting was April 25th, 1973. Now,
okay.
Do you want to take a guess if oh yeah, they all are in the 60s and 70s? I know that's
Are you starting to notice a pattern here?
All the cryptids
when there was heavy acid and marijuana use, all of a sudden these stupid cryptid.
So I agree with you on that, but
scary monsters started popping up. Let me go ahead
and so you mean to tell me to you here,
I'm
Noah?
supposed to be scared right now? So look, you sit there, you get all stoned, and then you talk about scary monsters. You know what you do? Your imagination runs wild, and all of a sudden there's a scary monster in front of you.
Yeah, right. That's why we record with the lights on.
My fucking kitchen light is on right now for a reason. I got blackout curtains. Are you waiting
for the
so I can't see anyways.
Are you waiting for the 3-legged frog to knock on your door? His arms are too short.
No, knowing my luck, I'll just turn around and he's there.
Yeah, right. It's just living in your walls.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No. So
I seen a video earlier of this snake in someone's ceiling, and it just broke through the ceiling.
Yes, I saw
that. Irrational fear. There's gonna be a snake. Because I live by the river, just be a big ass snake that just got in my house somehow.
So we can't ever do a snake cryptid because you'll have bad dreams.
Dude, I hate snakes. Look, spiders don't scare me. I know. Look, we're gonna get off topic for a second. I know a lot of people are scared of spiders. My wife, terrified. Right? Yep. I'll grab a spider. I'll grab it by its web. And move it. Whatever. She's always like, "Oh my God, kill the spider!" And I'm like, "No, they actually serve a purpose. They eat the mosquitoes and everything, and they're they're harmless. And they do some pretty cool things with their webs. I do enjoy like the spider webs, and actually I hate walking into them when you can't see them, but if you can see them, they do some really cool stuff. Yeah. Like we had a huge orb weaver by our front door for a while. That thing, scary as shit to look at because it's huge, but damn, the webs were super cool. Anyways, snakes, I don't like them. I don't want to say that they scare me, but I don't like them. I'm like, nope, they're creepy.
Don't worry.
My cousin, and her fiance, they have like a whole reptile room, and she got snakes and stuff, and like she'll hold them and stuff. My brother's had snakes and everything. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
god, I just can't do it because they have no appendages, and they
Well,
can
there's a
just
lot of things in life that
they
don't.
move so quickly though.
Yeah. It is crazy. But
It's like a worm. They
don't
shouldn't be able to
worry.
move.
Right?
At least a worm like kind of arches itself and like moves, where a snake just slithers and it's super quick. I don't know. I don't like them.
Don't worry. This is a three-legged frog monster, not a three-tailed snake monster.
Yeah.
It can't get you. Just take a breath. I'm the same way with mice. It's silly, but I can't stand them. So, like you were saying, we found all of these in the 60s and 70s, and you and I are kind of like, well, they're smoking dope or they're dropping tabs, doing whatever. Well, this one was a 10-year-old named Greg Garrett. I would like to think that Greg's not smoking pot or taking acid at this point, but he was taking
What
or
a loser.
playing. Greg was
Nerd.
playing in his backyard after dark when he claimed something suddenly emerged from the shadows. According to his account, the creature charged at him, stomped on his feet, and its claws shredded his tennis shoes. He ran screaming into his house, and the family initially assumed that he'd been frightened by a dog or something else, but Greg insists that it was like nothing he's ever seen before. His description included gray skin, glowing eyes, and three legs. So,
Did anybody else ever see this thing?
well, yeah, there's the same day. Now, this is the part that kind of trips me up about whenever we talk about cryptids. There's always a sighting, and it's within 3 days. Almost always 3 days. Some of them maybe a week. But like every cryptid we've ever talked about was there for only a few days and then never seen again. Now, I don't know about you, but this kind of makes me think like what was going on at that time? Did we slip into something? The tinfoil is gone and maybe affecting my brain, but you know, all of these things happen around the same decade in different locations across the world, and they're only there for 5 days. Because with this one, McDaniel encounter is what this is dubbed. Later the same evening, around 10 p.m., a local resident named Henry McDaniel heard scratching outside of his home. At first, he assumed it was a raccoon, a stray dog, maybe a bear. So he did like what every person who lives somewhere that hears scratching at their door does. He grabs a flashlight and his pistol. When he stepped out, he said that he saw something standing between two rose bushes. Now, this is his famous description, the one that is more detailed than a 10-year-old. He said it had three legs, two little short arms, two pink eyes as big as flashlights, and it was about 4.5 feet tall. McDaniel said that the creature looked almost human, but unlike any animal he had ever encountered before. So,
This guy encountering a lot of animals, or
I
they
don't
work
know.
at a zoo, or
You know what? Before we get too far, too, while we're talking about how this stuff always happens on short time frames and it's only in certain year or decade span, have you ever looked at what they based the Stranger Things on, like the actual testings and stuff that they were doing, and
yes,
then
and we
also,
we will do an
I was
episode on
just
that.
gonna say, yeah, because MK Ultra and that kind of tie together. Maybe all this shit is tied to that, guys. Tune in and listen for those. But back to this, McDaniel does what everybody who would probably be in this scenario did. He shoots at it 4 times, and he is almost sure that one of the rounds struck the creature. But instead of collapsing, it reportedly let out a loud hiss, similar to like a wild cat or, your favorite thing, a snake. Turned and then escaped on its 3 enormous legs. So he estimated the creature covered roughly 50 feet in only 3 jumps, which also gets reported later in other reports.
You know what I'm
I
thinking
don't
it
know about
was?
you. Yeah.
And it's gonna sound dumb because it's in Illinois. But it sounds like
I'm
kangaroo.
listening. That would be crazy. That you
Like,
know what? But what would the pink eyes would it be like an albino maybe? Because they said it was
well,
gray. So I mean, I didn't even think to look at this before we started recording, but you are right. It could have been a kangaroo because I guess young kangaroos or bald or something like with mange. I'm assuming they do look gray, even like they're young ones. So even if it wasn't a fully grown kangaroo, it could have been.
I'm sure. I mean, if you were to try to find a report on a zoo that was missing a kangaroo, I bet you, no zoo's like, oh, we're missing a kangaroo. But I mean, if you're saying they're shaved or have mange or something like that, I mean, maybe it was like one of those black market deals. I mean, I know
or
down in
or
like
like a
Texas and stuff.
cosmetology one.
Yeah, it could be that. I know like down in Texas or like Oklahoma and stuff, they got like huge black market on exotic pets because that's where you get all like the tigers and shit like that in cages that
Lions and
random ass
tigers and
people are like,
bears.
yeah, dude, they have all this random ass animals that are exotic. They're like, oh, yeah, I get a good deal on them through a guy,
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
It's
And it's
crazy.
like, what the fuck?
When I go to edit this, I will look and see if there was an escaped kangaroo anywhere near Enfield, Illinois in 1973. And if I do, talk to him, Max. If not, here we go. So the police obviously are involved now because you can never just pop off a couple shots and not have somebody call it in. Um, Police show up,
What does
and
America come
unlike
to? I mean,
yeah, I know, right?
can't
Even in the
shoot at random
70s,
random animals
you
and
talking to me?
or
I can't just
aliens.
pop out my house and pop a few rounds off. Damn it!
Yeah, man. I mean, so we can't shoot at an alien and or a
Yeah,
kangaroo and not have the cops
yeah.
call on them,
Oh
It's
fuck.
just un-American.
So, unlike a lot of the cryptid stories we've talked about, this one actually has some documented physical evidence. Um, re- the investigators report strange tracks near the house that resemble a dog's footprint, 6 toe pads instead of the usual 4, and scratch marks around the property. Um, Authorities do not identify what makes the tracks, and no animals were found. They considered McDaniel sober and sincere, so this guy also is not drunk or high on drugs. Even if they could, or even if they can't explain what he's saying, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds so bizarre, they actually believe him.
Are the cops stoned? I mean,
The
what
cops are like,
cop in
dude,
their
you
right
definitely
mind
saw
is going,
something.
you know what, you're right. I think this dude saw an alien thingy out
Yeah.
here.
He saw a
Like,
damn monster.
hell no, dude. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
who said that he was in the right state of mind again? Oh, Officer Jim Bob over there. Have him fucking drug tested too.
Right, right. No, that would be I would love to see how this shit actually unfolded back then. Like, could you imagine news now is like nothing even compared to when you and I were kids. Could you imagine the news in the 70s where like it was just local shit unless it was a huge story that got to local?
I'm guessing Enfield is Enfield big? I'm guessing it's a small town. If it's got to be, it's over by Western Illinois because Western did some case study on it. They have mule day.
Nah, Infield's actually pretty like I would say it's a smaller town, like a rural town, but it's smaller. Kind of like
Yeah.
where you just moved from.
So I mean, for it to make news, it probably don't take too much. Being like, oh shit, hey,
Yeah.
Enfield, the town of nobody, has some stuff going on. What's
They
going
got a
on here? We
goddamn
got a
gray monster
monster.
going around.
Yeah, we got a three-legged gray monster. Yep, that's something I'm gonna report on. I think I
Well,
got it.
you know what's crazy is within 2 days, newspapers all across Illinois pick up on the story. And then, not long after, it shows up on Chicago radio, which you and I both know, living in the state, if it makes it there, it's big shit somehow. It
Yeah,
was on all statewide newspapers, and then it was on the national wire services. So I don't know what that is, the wire services, but I'm assuming it's like telephone and TV at that time. I'm not sure. I don't want to misspeak on somebody's life. But um, as the publicity spreads, Enfield became flooded with curiosity seekers and monster hunters. So, like we've said with a couple of things, maybe this generated just a little bit of, you know, traction for that town, which is kind of what they wanted. Um, Residents began worrying, though, because now armed visitors pose a greater threat than the creature, and several hunters were even sighted after roaming the areas with firearms. So,
but
kind
yeah,
of
what
like
do
that.
they expect? It's probably a rural town in Illinois here. I mean,
Yeah,
you got a bunch of just rednecks around. Eventually, you're gonna get somebody who, hey, old Jimmy had a 12 pack and he had a good idea. Why don't we go hunt this monster down? Go find it,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
we'll claim like a reward. I mean, we'll be
Yeah,
here
we kill
if we
it,
go.
we'll sell it to somebody, they'll buy it.
Yeah, I mean, we chop the head off, mount it, put it up
Yeah,
and
right.
by my big
Be
12
like, we
pointer.
shot the green
Like,
alien thing.
yeah.
No, it's just,
What
I
do they
love how
expect?
they
People
always
just
throw
be
that
like, "Ooh,
in.
I'd like to go find this monster," and
Yeah, let
then
me go
just
unarmed and find this
unarmed to
monster.
go find this monster. Yeah,
This
like, oh, I'll
giant
just take a
three-legged
picture.
freak. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say that I've seen it. Like, you just want to say that shit. You're
No, bullshit.
just trying to die. You're bait,
Everybody in there with a
bud.
gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Don't get your people to have new traction coming around, coming looking for this three-legged frog man that nobody can ever say. So let's just, yeah, we're taking guns.
I mean, I would.
So, like you and I have been doing this whole time, there's a lot of theories of what it could be, right? Number one, kangaroo. Um, we called it. Second one is possibly an injured deer that the leg had been, amputated via car or animal. Other people think it could have been a dog, a bear, anything else that, like, under bad lighting, which we talked about before. You got these old cars that and house lights that are about as good as you, like, sticking your arm out. That's as far as you can see with them. Um, they're saying that under these poor light conditions, that's what possibly people were seeing. Here's my thing though. Why is a 10-year-old in the 70s, maybe this is why there were so many serial killers running around. Why is a 10-year-old outside way after dark where a monster thing's coming out of the woods and your parents aren't, like, there keeping an eye on you?
This was 1973. You didn't have to keep. That 10-year-old was left at home by himself all day. He was able to
Oh,
cook,
true.
clean. He had a
But I
list
know
of
that you
chores to
and
do that
I,
was
at the
a
same
mile long.
time, you and I have both been told that when I was young, I had to be home when the lights came on. Well, I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure the street lights are on at, you know, dark.
Yeah, but little Garrett was just in his backyard.
Oh, yeah, I guess he was home, technically. Well, pardon me, Garrett. If you're listening to this, I apologize. But as the media and everything gets involved, obviously people are like, well, we're just going to go ahead and say um, people are just blowing it out of proportion. And, one thing misidentified has now become a game of telephone. It's probably, like we've said, in a kangaroo.
Or It is an interdimensional monster, and you know where it came from?
Uh, the Monarch Project or whatever the fuck it was called.
No, dude. The next place, or the next thing that we're going to talk about.
Oh, it came from hell? I don't know if that makes me feel any better, dude.
Seven Gates of Hell down in St. Louis there.
Yeah.
Down in Collinsville.
Yeah, no, I don't this one's weird. It's really weird. It's a haunted location that the gates aren't actual gates. It's just a series of railroad underpasses.
And if you hit them at the right time, at the right speed, and the moonlight's just right, you go
And you
into another
have
dimension. You
9.9
go into
gigawatts or
hell.
whatever.
Yeah. If you're cruising a smooth, what is the DeLorean and Back to the Future?
Yeah,
Isn't it like 80
88
miles an hour?
miles. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're just cruising through these trellises at 88 miles an hour, you are crazy. You're definitely seeing hell.
I'd like to know a car that you got to go 88 mile an hour to go, into another dimension type deal that
Yeah.
leaves a trail of flames behind you.
Brother, that's the only one that does it.
I'm
That's why
just
there were
saying,
so few of them
they
made
got them
and so
DUI
few
bikes now.
left.
Them fuckers will go 80 mile an hour.
Yeah.
I mean,
And those fucking electric scooters that kids are on, you'll be going 90 on that thing. Just, I'm going through the gates. Fuck, whoop.
can you imagine that's
Dude.
actually how it happens, and you end up in another dimension? You end up in hell
If you
on
end up in hell, yeah,
on
dog,
a
I'm.
scooter.
You
On a
know
scooter,
what?
like you're just this little like 12, 13-year-old kid. You got your little scooter helmet on, and you just swoop right into hell, and you're like,
And you're like, oh fuck, turn around.
"How fast do I got to go to get the hell out of here?" And he's like,
Oh
"Not fast
shit.
enough, bud."
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Turn around, there's
So
just a
the
bunch of
most
dumbass college kids and dumb cars. You got like old cars, new cars. There's a whole crowd of little e-bike kids over
yeah,
there.
going
They're
from the
like, "Damn, they
60s all the
got
way up to
Johnny
now.
now too."
Yeah, the 60s up till now of collection of shit and the people stuck in time. That'd be terrible.
And it's just a constant loop of people trying to get out, top speeding it, but just never fast
Yeah.
enough.
Oh, Jesus. Well, here's the actual story, as most people say. You've got to drive through all 7 of the bridges in the correct order. And the 7th one must be passed exactly at midnight. Again, Back to the Future. Get get your own ideas. Clearly, you stuck the 7 Gates of Hell method. If done correctly, a portal to hell will open. Those inside the vehicle may encounter hellhounds, demons, or be dragged into the underworld. Another version says that if you drive the gates backwards, you'll get a glimpse of hell in your rear view. That one I would be okay with doing. Could you imagine the line of cars that are at these fucking gates? Just trying to be like, womp, womp, womp. Fuck, I'm too early. I'm a minute past.
It's like slamming on your brakes, like throw it
Yeah.
in reverse. Which they say, if you go reverse through them, then you watch time like in your rearview mirror, like time loop in your rearview mirror, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, I guess everything's a time loop in your rearview mirror if you look
Yeah,
at it while you're
technically.
driving. Like,
Again, this starts in the 60s and 70s, so probably doing a little bit of crazy drugs and drinking.
yeah. I'm guessing
Well,
somebody. I don't know. Could you imagine just being all drunk in 60s, 70s,
opening the
and
gates to
some of
hell.
them muscle cars that they had, and then just like flying through them railroad tracks, and you're like,
Yeah,
holy
dude.
shit, man.
Yeah, I'm seeing hell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, this is why I do agree that they probably feel like they were going through hell. The description of the area of these gates is heavily wooded and very isolated. Yeah, I don't think I'd be having a good time out there either.
Like
Um,
Deliverance.
Dude, there was a road when I lived in Kansas and we would go back and forth for whatever holidays or, just coming to see family. There was a road that every time my GPS took me on it, but the very first time it took me, you're turning off of a highway onto a gravel road that goes up and around corners and everything, like my old driveway, Noah. It's like that. That's how it felt. And it's 2 lane. And the first time I got on it, I was like, fuck, I need to figure out where we're at. Well, the worst part about it was you also lose cell phone signal right then.
Oh
So I
wow.
could see how the gate of hell is definitely something that, comes out of this, because when I was out on that road every time, if it was at night, I'd be like, fuck, I do not like this road. I'm almost going to add another 45 minutes to my drive and avoid this road.
Yeah, and there's all the local legends, I guess, but behind each gate.
Yeah.
Like the first
Yeah, I'm
gate.
going to get into that, but hold on. Here's the other crazy thing. Another cryptid that you and I had talked about a couple weeks ago was in a coal mining community.
Yeah.
Collinsville is in a coal mine community.
Mhm.
And these railroad trestles were built in the late 1800s and look creepy as shit. So if you are somewhere where you can look up these 7 gates. The roads themselves look very eerie. And then there is tons of graffiti all over the ones that have been concreted in. So that adds to it as well.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yeah,
I would say
it's
they
not cool.
graffitied like hell.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
let you know you're in the right spot at least.
yeah. You get like a Banksy drawing down there, and it's just Satan himself climbing out, and it looks really good. So you're like, fuck, it's hell. But I don't know. As you were going to say, go ahead with gate 1. I had to point out the coal mining correlation.
Oh, you're good. So gate one is associated with tragic deaths, car wrecks, whatever. But there's people they rumored to be past hangings at this bridge, and a friend who murdered another friend happened underneath the first bridge there, or gate one.
It's crazy that you bring up those stories, because that might explain what these people are experiencing just at the first gate. Sudden silence, uneasy feelings, electronics acting weird, but there's no documented hauntings on that gate specifically.
No, but gate four, if I am correct.
Gate 2 and I believe all going forward,
Two,
definitely.
three, and four, they have a ghost
Yep.
that appears between the gates or between the bridges there and leads you to the next one.
Do you hear like the 2 stories behind it?
Well, I did not hear the stories. I just know that once it leads you to the gate number four or the fourth bridge, they say that's the point of no return.
Yep. You're committed to finishing after that, no matter what. So, when you said the ghost, a lot of there's 2 speculations. First one is a young African American boy that was lynched by the KKK at that gate. That is documented.
Oh, oh,
Um, they don't have evidence, but it's documented by the people. So that one's pretty dark, pretty scary. Automatically makes you come up with those ghost stories. Another one was a man was hanged over a love triangle. So caught his man or caught his woman with another man. Either he did it or the other man did it. So that's where they say these ghosts are from, right? Now, like you said, there's a couple of things about these. They say that they've seen shadow figures, which is always not good, a ghostly man, or a child apparition. So that's why there's the 2 different stories.
I hate the whole child ghost things. They scare me.
Yeah. Poltergeist children scare me more than ghost children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. That's what movies are made on. Um,
Yes.
so then gate 3 and 4 is considered the twin gates. Um, They're the heart of the legend. Whether you're going forward or reverse, that's obviously the middle. So, you know, a lot of people say that they see phantom headlights, footsteps with no people, voices, and overwhelming feeling of dread. And as you said, that's the point of no return, which is even worse because Gate 5 is not cool because, like I said, Gate 3 and 4 are the middle no matter what. But Gate 5 is always described as unusually long, extremely dark, very quiet. They report cold spots, feeling watched, and strange echoes. I'm immediately debunking all three of those. Um, if it's in the middle of nowhere and it's dark, yeah, you're going to feel all that shit.
That's true.
Especially if there's the cold spots. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but driving down 24 heading towards like Canton area, if you drive past that wooded area and you're in the right lane and you drive through that versus driving in the sun, you immediately feel a cold area. So maybe that's what that is. If you've
Oh
never
yeah.
experienced it, it's weird.
I mean, being on my motorcycle, I've come down 26 before, and there's at night hot spots. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, it's really warm here. Like this
Yep.
is weird. And then it's like, boom, there's a cold spot all of a sudden. You're like, whoa, what the hell? And then you're back to a warm spot, and it's like, yeah, I know it's summertime or whatever, but it's like it's an abnormally warm air. Like it's
Yeah.
not this warm everywhere else.
Yeah.
Or like it's been colder the rest of the ride, and then there's warm there. So yeah, just unusual warm or cold spots. Like I guess they just happen. It's nothing. If you're in the middle of nowhere, you'll just have that. I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, I've been there. I'm sure that everybody listening and even you have been there. There's been times in your life, whether as a child or an adult, where you can't explain something and you're in the dark, you're immediately going to start spinning because you don't know what it is. So, all of these that claim all this shit is always for me. I'm like, well, makes sense. But, um, Gate 6, a little bit spookier even yet. Obviously you got to keep ramping up on each gate that you go through. Um, Visitors claim that they hear whispers, someone calling their name, crying, laughter. And some people connect this to a nearby acid bridge, which, that's its own thing. But the stories are really separate from each other, but they get blended all the time. Gate 7 is obviously the end. Um, Supposedly, if you arrive exactly at midnight, which I find a funny time, hell will open. Glowing eyed hellhounds will appear. Shadow figures will surround your vehicle. Your car can stall, and you can have an overwhelming urge not to leave. Um, no one has documented any of this shit yet, and people do it all the time. So, I am curious on how to get back. Like, do you have to turn around? Like, you physically have to turn around and go back through? Because I feel like that would be way worse.
Yeah, because then you're like, damn, I'm doing it twice.
Yeah, let me drive through these gates that have scared the fuck out of me, and I'm going to just know what's there now. So,
Yeah, no thanks.
yeah. Here's the. Now I've told you all of the theories and the spooky stuff, right? This is the actual history that is reported on this area. And this is all that has been proven. Um, in 1978, there was a train derailment involving cars carrying liquefied petroleum gas, aka gasoline. Um, it caused explosions, seriously injured two people that were nearby. No deaths were reported, and they've found no evidence that it created the Seven Gates legend. But obviously, they try to like link this to all kinds of shit. Um, a lot of people go back and bring up these stories, like I had mentioned earlier. These ones are baseless and have not been proven. Um, Satanic rituals, mass murders, numerous hangings, and then portals. Obviously, none of those have evidence because that's a lot scarier to admit than just being like, we don't know. The only thing that happened was a train crash and nobody died. Just a couple boo boos. Crazy. That happens with every story that we've ever had a conspiracy about or a haunted location. Weird. So, obviously, this story is going to stay relevant because, it's abandoned railroad places. The roads are dark because it's a rural road. Like, all you have to light your way is your headlights and any house that you might pass. Um, it's a very easy challenge to attempt. You take a couple dry runs on how long it takes you to drive. You can time it. Um, and then obviously with people just kind of doing the game of telephone, they just pass this story along and it just gets more and more scary. Yeah. It's just like when the Maui were fighting to compete building the best statues. They put a red hat. Fuck, ours had green eyes. Yeah. So don't let any of this keep you up at night because obviously we've poked just as many holes in this story as we have with um, any other cryptids and haunted locations. If you want to help us believe a little bit more, help us get to that goal. We're getting ever closer, and the more you guys share it with friends and family and people that you think might enjoy this, um, it's significantly helping us. Just getting ourselves out there and keeping that motivation to keep going. Yeah, special shout out to Terry. These 7 gates are from you. Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude. I like to learn shit, man. Anybody who knows me knows I like to learn random shit and I retain random shit. So this stuff is cool to me no matter what. That's why I will repeat again. We will keep doing this until we have one person listening of us. We don't care. This is a blast. We learn shit. We get to talk shit. It's all fun. So seriously, thank you guys. And with that, this has been Blazed and Confused. Peace.